Hey everybody, this is Paxton with Magnet Media. We are your dental marketing experts, and this is the Magnetic Pulse. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about marketing through retirement. So as a dentist, whenever you think of marketing and you think of new patient growth, I know you're probably thinking of, early on in your career, whenever you were just getting established, within the first, 3 to 4 years of your practice, whenever you were trying to grow that book of business. But dental marketing doesn't stop then. I can definitely understand where a doctor would say, well, I have 3,500 patients, I have, 2,800 patients. I'm kind of at my capacity until, if I decide to hire an associate, and I'm not really looking to do that right now. I can understand where dental marketing would, that would be an acceptable place to slow down your ad spend, slow down how much you're spending on your referral partners. And with a 20% year over year patient attrition, you can probably get by replacing that with patient referrals, grassroots outreach, sponsoring kids' sports games. But whenever you near the end of your career, let's say, you've moved yourself down from 4 days a week to 3 days a week, you're referring out a lot of your more complicated work, you're mainly sticking to that bread and butter dentistry, and you're probably considering retirement. One of the things that I'm sure you're wondering is, well, what's my practice worth? How much would I be able to kind of exit for with this business that I've spent 30 years of my life building? And that's a great question. We know several dental transition consultants who would be able to help give you that valuation on your practice. But one thing I know that they would say is, slowing down new patient growth, especially near the end of your career, right before you're going to be kind of looking at retirement, is going to be hurting your practice valuation. And what I mean by that is, whenever you slow yourself down to a 3 days a week process, yes, it's great for your body, it's great for your family, you have more time, you have more ability to do things, but ultimately you're decreasing your revenue. You're kind of taking out of your left pocket and putting it into your right pocket, so to say. But the important thing is, whenever you do start thinking of a transition and you do get your appraisal and your valuation, one way, if you're not satisfied with the number and you're let's say you're about 5 years out from retirement, if you're not satisfied with the number that you have today, one of the best things that you could do for yourself is find ways to increase that new patient flow. Now, whether it's hiring an agency like ourselves to run ads on Facebook and Google, increase your SEO, maybe build you a new website so you can get better exposure, better user experience for your patients. If you were to start, doing more specialized work, trying to learn higher end procedures, those are always two things that you'd be able to do. But I'd like to specifically talk today about marketing through your retirement. So I know how the process goes. I used to work in dental transitions. Whenever you're ready to retire, the biggest question is, who's going to take over my practice? Who can I trust to handle the patients that I've had with me for 30 years? Who can I trust to treat my staff, my team, my family the way that I have for the past 20 or 30 years? And that's a tough question. That is a really, really tough question. And again, that's when I would defer to our transition experts on how to handle and how to pick that. But one thing that you can do right now is to start growing the business again. If you're going to be taking on an associate, giving somebody a chance to work under you, see how you take care of patients, see your workflow, see how your team handles things. The best thing that you can do for that doctor that you're testing out, even if it's not going to be the doctor you sell to, is start establishing them a book of business. The last thing that you want to do is just start handing over your own patients to them at this exact point in time. So thinking about ramping up that digital marketing, that dental marketing to grow your patient base, Not for yourself, of course, but for the younger doctor coming in that you're testing out, growing their book of business, you know. And if that is the doctor that you decide to go with, it kind of works out in two ways. The first thing that you're doing for that doctor is you're setting them up for success. You're getting them ingrained into your practice, ingrained into your team. It becomes a much smoother transition when you are ready to, you know, hang up the dental loops and, you know, go grab a golf club or go grab a towel and sit on the beach. Setting them up with a book of business, getting that new patient flow is gonna do, like I said, it's gonna set them up for success, get them ingrained into your practice, and it's also going to increase the valuation of your practice too. You know, I know, like I said, you've been getting by. Patient attrition's 20%. You've been living off of referrals from the insurance companies or word of mouth referrals from current patients, and you've seen kids grow into adults and have their own kids who you're now taking care of. It's an incredible process. But getting that new patient into your seat is really going to be helping you increase the value of your practice. New patients means more revenue, means higher AR, more for the new doctor to purchase. Using this whole system of growing your marketing, growing your new patient flow right near the end of your career is going to be able to set up that new doctor that comes in there for success. That's ultimately, it's kind of a win-win for both of you. You're going to be getting more money for your practice valuation. They're going to be coming into a practice that is not only established and has a really successful track record, but is growing and continuing to grow and looking for more and more opportunities. So to summarize the effort of marketing for retirement, the best thing that you can do whenever you're nearing the end of your practicing days is not to slow down and see less patients. It is definitely time to find that last little bit of fire, hit the growth, hit the gas pedal. And if you're looking to take on an associate who you would eventually have to buy, the best thing that you can do is start dental marketing. Start growing your book of business. Start trying to hit 30 new patients a month, 40 new patients a month, 50 new patients a month. Start growing your associate's book of business. That way, whenever the time comes and you are done and ready to sail off into the sunset, your team knows what kind of doctor they're getting and dealing with. Your patients know what kind of doctor they're getting and dealing with. And that is going to help you out so much more in the long run and help out the longevity of the business that you've built so much more in the long run than if you just decide to, we're going down to 3 days a week. I'm probably going to retire in the next year. Let's get a valuation and get this thing listed. I know it sounds like a easy, hassle-free plan, but a practice that isn't growing and a practice that doesn't have the book of business to maintain a young, hungry doctor is definitely going to be tougher to value and tougher to move and get you to a position of where you're ready to retire. So thank you for joining me for today's episode of the Magnetic Pulse. I'm Paxton, your dental marketing expert with Magnet Media. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. We're going to be posting more of these educational videos every week. So if you like what you saw today, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.